What's up, you guys? It's Asada. What's up? Gathering of the Griots is in effect. Here we are. Thank you for tuning in on another great Tuesday. We got a great show today. Why? Because I love me some Scientology and Dianetics, and we gonna get into it. So before we begin, let's see what the female solution is about, because without it, we would not even be here. So hold tight. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back after these messages.
Women have the power to transform this world. We can end crime and violence if we all agree to do one thing: share. Let's share our wisdom, share our time, share our talents, share our finances, but most of all, let's share our love. This is the female solution.
All right, we're back. And Tuesday is such a great day because Gathering of the Griots has such power in it. Our writers, our books, our concepts, we know all of this is about the Soulful Chicago Book Fair coming up August 9th. We'll talk about that a little later. But before we start with our interview, it's Title Tuesday, and every Tuesday, hashtag Title Tuesday is what it is. We celebrate the books that are going to be featured at the book fair. So we got two great books today that I just want to introduce because they're new to the table, and here we are. Authors are signing up every day. But the first one, oh Lord, look at this. Life Lessons by Antoinette Counts is happy hashtag Title Tuesday to you, my darling. And we have also, Still Be Still, Lord. Oh gosh, what are we talking about there? Look at the worlds combining, who knows? Still Be Still by Deborah Daniel. Thank you very much, you guys. You are going to be present at the Soulful Chicago Book Fair on August 9th. But now it's the moment we've all been waiting for. And I said I want to show this because it's so apropos. It's so important. So take a look at this.
In my day-to-day life, when people find out, people are like, wait, what? You're what?
When they find out, they are usually surprised.
They're in such disbelief because they don't really know what it is.
Whoa, really? I told them, yeah.
Usually they're a little bit shocked.
Or it's something that they've actually been looking for a long time and they didn't know it was right there.
They get really curious about it.
They immediately go, oh, really? And it's like, yes, really.
No, you can't be one. I get that a lot. Like, you're not. Or like the room will go silent and I'm like, yeah, I am. I am one.
Most of the time, it's actually the really genuine interest.
And we can see that they want to know more.
I actually love answering questions. They'll simply say, hey, well, what is it?
It's sometimes hard for me to answer because it contains so much.
It's the most important thing to me, hands down.
It is the only thing that gave me my life back.
It's helped me personally, my family, my friends, and my community as well.
It's not for any one particular group of people or any class of people. It's for everybody.
I get questions all the time like, oh, you've been this your whole life? I'm like, yeah, I have.
10 years now?
12 years.
14 years.
21 years.
31 years. 34 years now.
35 years.
46 years.
My whole life.
My entire life.
All my life.
All my life.
I'm a third generation.
And it has completely changed my life.
You know, we're just people who believe in bettering ourselves and bettering the world.
And I'll tell them, yes, I am a Scientologist.
Yes, I am a Scientologist as well. Boop, boop. Don't get it twisted. Here's my symbol right here. We are going to have the pleasure of talking to the one and only, this girl. Let me tell you, this sister's so powerful. If it wasn't for her, working at the Chicago Church of Scientology was a thing because of her. She had me, she got me good. We'll probably talk about that, and I love her dearly. My Aquarian sister, none other than Monique Shiitake. Hey, beautiful lady.
Good morning.
How are you, my dear?
I'm great. I'm so excited to be here with you.
Oh, man, what excitement is beyond what I am to have you. Your excellence, you remind me a lot of myself, what I aim to be. I love your role in Scientology. We're going to start a little bit, I guess, with just some of the personal, because here I'm a Black woman, you're a Mexican woman. What we doing? What we doing in Scientology? How we even get there? So how long have you been involved, and how did you get involved?
So I came into the church in 2006. Okay. And I got started by some study technology. My daughter was having difficulty in school, and I met a friend, and she was going over a book called The Basic Study Manual. And I was very intrigued. I was like, wow, there's technology when you study. And, you know, my daughter meant, obviously, as a mom, you want your children to have the best of everything. And I wanted to help her survive better. So I went into the church and I enrolled in a course called the Basic Study Manual. And while I was on it, I learned more things, not just for my daughter, but overall for me, and things I found to, found solutions to things that I had difficulty with. So that was the thing. And of course I got to help her. So that was even more amazing. And then after that, I took a course on communication and, you know, helped me with my marriage completely. So yeah, that's how I got in.
So wait a minute. So you wanted your daughter to study better, and you found the training you needed in the Church of Scientology.
That's right.
Right. Which is something people don't really know, but I tell people, you come out of here, when you study in Scientology and Dianetics, you come out smarter. I don't care what nobody say. You are smarter because you are trained to use a dictionary. Your vocabulary enhances. And if I heard you correctly, you didn't just get the course for her. You said you took it as well?
Yes. Yeah. She didn't even take the class. It was me that took the class to help her. And what I learned, things that I struggled with in high school, the answers were all there. So it resolved many mysteries that I had for years when I did the course.
Got you. So Basic Study Manual, you guys, if you know, I've seen Basic Study Manual help people who didn't read well, or they didn't feel like they wrote well. And after Basic Study Manual, they learned how to look at themselves, the physical manifestation of them not understanding words. And it really changed their ability to read and write, to the point where they used to have me help them write letters and stuff. But it got to the point where they didn't need me anymore. They told me I'm good, you know, and they got the skill from taking Basic Study Manual. And I know we have other courses that speak to those same skills, like even on a lower level, not in terms of status, but for introduction for children, we have a course called Learning How to Learn. Mm-hmm. Whoever learned that, how to learn, right? Grammar and communication. I did not know that the ... when you're writing and you see ... I didn't know it was called an ellipsis.
Yeah.
Until Scientology, until I learned, oh my God, okay. You know, so just things, learning what a colon is, learning what a semicolon is in grammar. So there's a grammar and communication course. We got the dictionary course. So it is a great place. Have you seen other examples? Like, I know my daughter used some of them when she was like 8 or 9. Have you used those other courses for the development of your daughter, other than you knowing Basic Study Manual?
Oh, yes, of course. I also have a son. So when I had the tools and when they became of age to be able to read on their own, they did all of those courses. And it helped to them. As you mentioned, there's a grammar and communication course. That was really fun to watch for the two, because, you know, siblings can attack one another from time to time in either playful way. But this course actually teaches you to be able to handle anything that anyone's talking about. So even at a child's level, they were able, like bullying, that kind of thing, that they were able to be able to go, oh, wow, I could be in the presence of whatever communication is coming at me and be able to handle it.
Right.
Yes.
That was a children's communication course, right?
Right.
Because my daughter took that course, and I'm going to tell you right now, at the time, she might have been like 8 or 9 or something. And the kids at school used to tease her because she was a vegan vegetarian, and all her foods were vegetables. So they used to be like, ew, yeah, avocado, ew, yeah, breast. But when she took that course and returned to school, literally she would go to the kids when they would say, ew, Brussels sprouts or whatever. She would go, you don't know what a Brussels sprout is? You never heard of an avocado? You never tasted an avocado? Like, she was able to really confront them without an attitude, and they would start going, can I taste? And it just flipped the whole script. She had a better ability to confront the adversity, like you said, like, you know, bullying and all of that. Nip it in the bud, baby. Take those courses and be able to handle communication that comes to you that's not ideal, right?
That's right.
So, ooh, I love it. We got a few comments here. Lawrence says, good morning, but he also says, comprehension is key in understanding life in general. No doubt about it. Oh, baby. And that's what you are going to learn today, y'all, how to see how Dianetics and Scientology improves just basic life. So I want to just jump on in, girl. Let's talk about the real deal. L. Ron Hubbard and Dianetics. I want to deal a little bit, and we're going to define it. I'm going to show a little video about it. But what's your viewpoint on Dianetics in general and how it affects all of us?
Well, okay, so mental health is a thing, right? So there are many people who are getting in to create good, and there are many that are involved that are not creating good. So Dianetics, as you'll see in the video coming up, it explains why one experiences the things they do, why they have the thoughts they have, and all their fears and insecurities. So it is vital that, and one of my goals is to make sure that every person in the Chicagoland area has this book or access to the video to learn about what the mind is doing to make the body ill. Because when they have that, it will relieve some pressure we put on ourselves, that, you know, I'm not this, I'm not that, I'm not good enough, whatever it is, it's talking at you and stopping you from achieving all the goals that you want. So once you have this material, you can finally do something about it. And having an understanding of, you know, day-to-day moments or thoughts or what you ate and you feel not well. So the goal is to just make sure that everyone has this so that they have an understanding as to what they go through on, you know, daily basis.
Yeah, can you just break down the word Dianetics real quick? Because I think when people see that word, they just be like, bye, I don't understand what that is. But just break down, what does Dianetics mean?
Sure. So I'm going to read directly from the book because that is what I like to do.
Yep.
So it says Dianetics, Greek dia, through, and nous, mind or soul. It is the science of the mind, far simpler than physics or chemistry. It compares with them in the exactness and its axioms, and it's considered a high echelon of use. So it is the hidden source of all psychosomatic ills and human aberration, and it has been discovered, and the skills we have are developed in the invaluable cure. So it basically means through the mind.
Through the mind. Dianetics, y'all. When y'all see that word and that book, you see the volcano, right? It's the eruption. But just know it means through the mind. So no more misunderstanding that. There we go. No more misunderstanding that. So let's watch a little video so you can really get an idea. This is just about 4 minutes, but it's important to see because you're going to be like, oh, dear, true. And you'll understand a little better why we want to get this in our community heavily. So here we go.
Do you know someone who has never fully recovered from a serious loss in life? Or a traumatic experience? And in your own day-to-day life, do you sometimes experience self-doubts, negative thoughts, unreasonable fears, upsets, or irrational behavior? The painful experiences of our past clearly have an effect upon our present behavior. But to what degree and why? What causes the mind to depart from rational thought or behavior? That is the subject of Dianetics. Every moment of your life, your mind is recording everything that's happening to you. Every sight, every sound, every taste, smell, pain, emotion, touch, everything. These recordings form what is called the time track, a consecutive record of all the experiences accumulated throughout your existence. Your mind uses this information to make decisions and solve problems relating to your survival. The better its decisions, the better you survive. Most of this data is stored in your analytical mind, that part of your mind that thinks, remembers, and calculates. But some of your experiences are not recorded into those analytical memory banks. It is a discovery of Dianetics that all of your painful experiences are stored in a previously unknown part of the mind. It's called the reactive mind, and it throws those experiences back at you in an irrational attempt to get you to avoid the same painful thing from happening to you again. Here's a simple and common example. At some point, you've probably gotten sick from eating tainted food. Later in life, if you see or smell or possibly even think about that particular food again, you start to feel a little nauseous. Now, you know that logically, the mere sight or smell or thought of a food can't physically make your body ill, because you haven't actually eaten it again. And yet you're experiencing the same sick feeling you had before. This is your reactive mind, making you re-experience the same perceptions it recorded in that earlier incident, in a crude attempt to protect you from what it believes is a dangerous situation. It reacts solely on a stimulus-response basis and below your awareness. The painful experiences hidden in your reactive mind are the cause of your fears, insecurities, negative thoughts, unwanted emotions, and irrational behavior. You have been accumulating these deeply buried experiences throughout your existence. In fact, the most damaging among them occurred before you were born. Dianetics reveals how these negative experiences are stored and contains a technology to free yourself from them. What would life be like if all of the pain you've experienced no longer affected your abilities, emotions, and behavior? You would think and behave rationally, making the best possible decisions relating to your survival. You would be able to utilize your imagination and creativity to their fullest. You would be confident, more intelligent and productive and happier. You would be yourself, free to enjoy life and reach your full potential. In short, your mind would be clear. That is the goal of Dianetics. People achieve this state every day, and so can you.
I just love me some Dianetics Scientology. I'd be like, I'm not, no shade on no other religion, but baby, what you need, we got videos, we got books, we have materials to really help people understand what they're learning. It's not just like a blanket, just read it and be quiet type of thing, but videos that help illustrate what we need to know to get to a better place. And so love that. Love your reading of the meaning of Dianetics. Love that. And you guys, if you have problems that you want solved, go ahead and type them in the chat. I don't know if you're watching this on YouTube or on Facebook, but you literally just put something out there. If there's something that you want help with, literally, I've tried to find a problem that didn't get solved here, and I couldn't find it. So we always got something. So yep, you can type your concerns or comments and wherever you're watching, and then we can bring it up to the table. Or if you want to speak to Monique and ask her questions, please feel free. Also, I want to put this website at the bottom because it's a lot of stuff on the internet. But let me tell, this is my analogy I usually make. If I want to learn about Black people, I'm not going to go to the Ku Klux Klan, okay, to get the data. So if you're going to learn about Dianetics and Scientology, go to the website. Go to our website, Scientology.org, and get it from our mouths and see it with your own eyes. They even have a link we have a TV station, and they have a link where you can bring up the television station. And so let's talk a little bit about Dianetics and its use. What I have a story about Dianetics auditing that I've seen, but what's something that you've seen and you felt like you were impressed by or inspired by seeing Dianetics applied to real life?
Yeah, so every weekend at the foundation, we hold a 2-day Dianetics seminar. So one time there was a man, this was about, I want to say 8 years ago, and he was a chef, and he cooked for years in a church in I think it was, I'm trying to remember the name, but it's irrelevant. Anyway, he was there, and then he had an accident in the kitchen, and he started to be afraid to be at work. It started to create a lot of problems. Then he felt really bad that he was not helping because he believed in pushing their message. So he withdrew, and he stumbled across Dianetics. He started to read the book. He enrolled in the seminar, and he went through Saturday. There's some study, you listen to videos, questions and answer, and then by the afternoon, you're auditing. That afternoon, he audited, and we can go over what that is, but he was working with the person he was assigned with, and over a moment of cooking when he had that accident. And he discovered that when he, how do I say this? So he discovered that there was a point where he went out, like he was knocked unconscious, and he started hearing what another person was saying. And then he took that, and as you heard a bit from the video, that he then be able to live out those words that someone was saying. So they stayed with him. So as you go through that moment of pain and in that incident, he started to realize that it wasn't him that he was operating off of. It was something that someone else said, and it wasn't his decision. After that point, by the end of the weekend, he was calling the church. I need to come back to work. He apologized for everything that he put them through, because I guess he was the only cook from what he said, so left him stranded. But then he began and he moved forward, and he came into the church again, I want to say about 4 months later, and started working there and brought more people in. And then they opened up a small, not a shelter, but an eatery for those who needed food and didn't have access to it. So from going at a point in his life where he was great, then he fell back down, did Dianetics auditing, realized it wasn't him, and then moved forward, got back to the great point, and then he excelled even better. And it was all to help people, and that was his fundamental thing, that the accident stopped him.
Nice. Definitely. We're going to define auditing. Can you just define it quickly, because you've said it, and then we do have a comment. Go ahead.
Good. So auditing is when you work with another person. It's called an auditor, and it's auditor means one who listens, and you go through exactly the painful incidents that occur, and you work with someone on that. So as I was explaining in the Dianetics seminar, you work with a brand new person, you learn together, and then you would work one with another. But an auditing is just a therapy that you use to help find those painful moments in your life and change them from being painful and unconscious of unawareness to the point of like, wow, I now know I can be caused over things going on in my life, and you see where the truth came from, and then you're able to move forward in life.
Nice. Yeah. So what I love, you can talk to a lot of people in the Nation of Islam. You come across them, they be like, I'm an auditor. I'm an auditor. I'm an auditor. And I'm like, what? It's like they literally, in the Nation of Islam, many people have been trained to become auditors so that they can now do auditing in the mosque. And so it's growing. It's growing. We have a comment down here. A question from Naima Latif, who is the executive producer of the show. What's up, lady? It says, expound a bit on pre-birth memories, things that happened in the womb. Can your mother's emotions during pregnancy affect you?
So, yes, basically, any kind of, I don't want to go into too much because there's a whole chapter in Dianetics on it, but to answer the question, yes, those emotions do affect a woman in pregnancy. And anything from the mother being tired, hitting a table, hearing things, all of that does affect the child as well as the mother. There is auditing for that we have available, and there is a whole chapter in Dianetics that covers every aspect of that, so that one can take the correct measures while they're carrying a baby.
Absolutely. Thank you for that. And thank you, Naima, for that question. So much. I mean, it makes sense. Why wouldn't that be an issue, right? The child is in the stomach and they're eating from you. So it is only connected. Their mind, everything that's happening to you, they're going to feel just like your heartbeat, right? But like she said, in the book Dianetics, and that's why getting that book is so important. I think you can go to Scientology.org. It might even be Scientology-Chicago.org, where you can go and get the book Dianetics, but you definitely can get it at the book fair on August 9th, because what you all are one of our sponsors. And so they will have a 3 booth set up.
That's right.
So you will be able to not only get Dianetics, you'll be able to experience some of the stress tests. You all will be doing some of the assists there too. You'll have your massage tables out there, right?
That's right.
So y'all are in for it. I love the introduction of Dianetics to our community. Just look at this here. What? Going into the Black and Latino community, baby. Yes. And then you look at the faces. People looking content. People looking like they just found something new. You do not see any kind of, Dianetics. No. While y'all over there acting shy about it, in our communities, we are flourishing from it. And I just love that. And I love how, you see our representatives go out and get Dianetics in the hands of our people, and that we see the value in it for all the things that we face. And like the video showed, you experience hardships or questions about yourself. Dianetics is that thing that helps to create another reality. And so I love these pictures. I was like, oh yeah. And check it out. When you all get to the book fair, this is what you're going to see. These tables set up where you can go and get the stress test done, get Dianetics. And it's funny, you don't even have to say anything. What you're going to do, you don't have to tell them your life story or none of that. They just going to ask you a question. And just thinking about the question is going to help you see why Dianetics is so key and how it affects the experience you have there. And so I am extremely elated that we're sharing this data, because I think there's so much confusion about it. One of the things I hear about Dianetics all the time is, I used to see that book on my mother's show. Like it used to be a commercial about it. They see the volcano erupting. But it's so funny how so many people had this book in their library at home, and people grew up with it. And I think that's so important. Look at this here. We have Zelda has a comment. It says, thanks for the clarification of pre-birth memories. Looking forward to all the activities of the greatest community party disguised as a book fair. That's right, community party, baby. All the book knowledge of the world is coming. But I love having you guys there, because I've been a Scientologist for over 20 years. And I did raise my daughter in Dianetics and Scientology, and it does make a difference. We're going to go to a commercial break, come back and talk about that a little bit. But one of the other questions and where we're going to go, people go, well, Dianetics and Scientology, how is that? What is it? Is it one or the other? Or so we're going to talk about the difference between the two. And first, we're going to experience this message. So stay tuned. Don't go anywhere, guys. We'll be right back.
The Soulful Chicago Book Fair, Woodlawn's premier summer event, returns to 61st Street between Cottage Grove and King Drive, Saturday, August 9th, 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. Join us for another celebration of literary works by and about the Black experience, featuring children's books, fiction books, and non-fiction works by local and international authors. The main stage will host an entertainment lineup second to none, with Pari Lemuel, Aniba and the Soul Stars, and the mesmerizing Moo Moo Fresh. Special guest, DJ Celeste. The community stage features a variety of family-friendly performances, such as DJ sets produced by IC Music, an organization that trains and promotes blind audio engineers. All this and more, Saturday, August 9th, free and open to all. Be there. Visit SoulfulChicagoBookFair.com for more information.
All right, there we have it. So, yep, August 9th. Y'all get ready. If you have any questions, you want to see what's going on, get some details, even see the list of books that are going to be out that day, SoulfulChicagoBookFair.com, right at the bottom. Check it out. Go to the About section, and you'll see something that shows 2025 features. You'll see all the featured books and blah, 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 blah. It's going to be hype. So I'm just happy about that. So now let's get into it. We have Dianetics. We went through that, through the mind. The word actually means through the mind. So we're looking at how your emotions, your behavior, and all of that are affected by the mind. That mind is powerful, baby. I've been going through it recently with just, I had a stroke and a seizure back in August of 2024. And just the managing of this body, the role that the mind plays in that, baby, deep, if you don't have a handle on it. So really, getting auditing and having someone help you address issues is important. Now, so Dianetics, let's just go right into the difference between the two, because you got Dianetics and you got Scientology. What would you say is the difference between the two?
So first of all, Dianetics only addresses the mind. All right. And in Scientology, during L. Ron Hubbard's research, who is the author of Dianetics, he found there to be more things occurring aside from the mind. And we believe in the spirit. So I'm just going to read you very quickly. It's in a book called New Slant on Life. And the chapter is called The Description of Scientology. And in there, Scientology is the science of knowing how to know answers. And it says, a Scientologist is a specialist in spiritual and human affairs. Scientology is organized from the viewpoint of the spirit, and it contains a precise and usable definition of the spirit, charts and studies, and is capable of changing the behavior of the human spirit. So the difference is Dianetics covers the mind, and in Scientology, it is the discovery of the spirit and how to help the spirit be exactly who they are versus anything that has been altered or changed. So that's the difference between the two of them.
Perfect. And for those of you that just are kind of like laymen in spirituality and life, you always hear people talk about the mind, body, and the spirit. This is not a foreign concept, right? This is just a way you're going to get better, to me, more detailed information regarding the body, mind, and spirit when you're working with Scientology. And there are courses to work on them all. Let me just tell you real quick. I thought I was just going to cry right on the spot. I was watching this movie this weekend called Phenomenon. And Phenomenon is a movie with John Travolta in it. But when he was trying to explain what he was going through, baby, he said a sentence. He said, it's not about these details or things you're talking about. He said, it's about the human spirit. I was like, oh, Oh, I was like, get him. Like, I just loved that line. And I love that he went there and let them know that it's about the human spirit. And so let's talk a little bit about, first of all, I love New Slant on Life. When people ask me about Scientology or want to know, this is the book that I recommend, period. People don't know, with our books also come courses. You could do courses at your house in these books. So on one side, you see the book New Slant on Life. On the other side, you see the actual course that you could do at home. And that's what I do. I do my courses at home, right? You can do them in the church, but then they have versions that you could do at home. And so you could do Dianetics from home. You could do New Slant on Life from home. And Scientology, that handling the spirit is not some kind of woo magical nothing. It is you as a person, like you are a spirit doing all these things. You might hear in layman's world, they say we are spiritual beings living in a human body, right? And so these decisions that you make are decisions of you as a spirit, right? So let's just look a little bit at New Slant on Light is a book. This is a book I highly recommend. These books are not even expensive, guys. They're like $20. And so I'm going to put the website at the bottom again, just so you guys can see. And should I put Scientology.-chicago.org?
That's fine. What you have there is
fine. Okay, that's fine. So basically, New Slant on Life is something that is definitely going to be at the book fair. It is going to help you understand Scientology to the 10th degree. But these courses, these are some of the courses. They're called life improvement courses. And they are life improvement courses in a variety of areas. And so I want to talk a little bit about that. I'm going to show a close-up of a few of them so we can get an idea. Oh, look at this. Wait. Now, effective time management. Now, I'm a Black woman. We all know. CP time, that is something that used to be colored people's time. That's what that stands for, right? But this being late is an issue. But what I love is that this effective time management is a book, not really what you think it is. You want to give some feedback on this, Monique, of just the excellence of that course, and then you can go right into Principles of Prosperity?
Definitely. So effective time management, I'm Latin Mexican, so we also have that same, we're on our own time. But there's more to it in this course. Basically, when one looks at, I'm busy doing this, or I have to do that, or, and you realize you've wasted a whole day and you did nothing. And it happens from not just our culture, it happens to many people. So the tools you learn in this course help you recognize and spot the points where you're not living to the greatest potential that you have. And in an amount, by the time you're done with this course, you'll have all the tools that you need to produce in the hours that are given. So in an 8-hour workday, you will actually get so many projects done. And it goes over points of like, I'm going to start this or start this project or this. And you're like, wow, I started over here, but I didn't finish. Or I started over here and I didn't finish. And, I started over there. And then at the end of the day, you have all of these things and you felt you went nowhere. This course will help you isolate what you're doing. And then the things that you're doing really well, you then can strengthen those to get even more done. So this isn't just for someone who has difficulty getting things done. This is also for the person who gets a lot done. And this one will just increase their amount of production. And then, be more powerful, make more money, reach your goals. So this effective time management is definitely for anyone, not just someone who's having difficulty with completing tasks.
When I took that course, first of all, I love time. I'm a stickler for time. I don't do lateness, any of that. But I still took the course. And when I did, I was so surprised at my ability afterwards. It was so much more about planning. and how you handle your planning, in your life. We got a comment from Ashabi. Hey, Ashabi, it says, I've been greatly empowered by the Scientology courses I've completed. What courses do you recommend for youth?
Well, it's interesting. That's a really good question. I had in the life improvement courses that Asada just put up, there is courses for achieving your goals and things like that. And a father came in with his daughter and was like, oh, she's going away to college, and we want her to achieve everything that she wants, so I want her to do all these courses. And then when I met with her, the young lady was struggling with a lot of things, primarily who she can trust. And she was getting mixed up with the wrong people who weren't supporting her in what she truly wanted to do. They were pulling her into different directions. So for youth, I always recommend a couple of courses. One for knowing who you can trust. Also a course called Overcoming Ups and Downs, because you have people in your life that pull you in one direction and want to see you fail. You can see this all over the internet, and that situation is key. And another one called Personal Values and Integrity. And you've heard this before, where one should keep their own counsel. And this course teaches you how to do that, so you're not conflicted by someone else's opinion or why you're being pulled in different directions. Those two courses are key: the knowing who you can trust, and as I mentioned, if you were all logged in, a communications course, because then they feel they have the strength to communicate what they're going through. But those four, highly recommend for the youth today, because there's a lot of mixed messages and confusion that they're being pulled into. And if they don't know for themselves what they want, they can be pulled in, God knows, some sad situations. And I work at the church so that they have the tools so that they can make smart decisions, so that they don't get themselves into trouble.
I'm just like, oh, every time you said a course, I was like, oh, I forgot to put that up. Oh, that course is good too. But I put up these two courses. I was like, oh God, but I put up these two courses. These are actually courses that I had my daughter do because I felt like she was dealing with self-esteem issues. And so when you're talking about youth and self-esteem, which when they're in those teen years, you get a lot of that. Like how to achieve self-confidence, how to get motivated. These were courses that I felt, and this is to your question about courses for youth. These are courses that I chose to use. So you guys are hearing us say courses. These particular life improvement courses you actually do at a Church of Scientology. You go in and they're called introductory life improvement courses, and they'll show you all of them. They'll show you them in categories, and so that you can kind of figure out, well, which way do you want to go? These courses here, Setting and Achieving Your Goals and Formulas for Living, are key to me for people that want to do business, that you're into, projects, you're an organizer, a director. You want to give feedback on any of these, Monique?
Yes. So Formulas for Living, that is a staple for every person on the planet. That course teaches you if you're doing very well, and it teaches you how to do better. If you're having some difficulty, you frequent the bar constantly and spending your money, you're gambling, whatever the situation is that is causing you hardship, that course will guide you how to get out of those situations, step-by-step technology for you to do that. That is fundamental. And Setting and Achieving Your Goals is an amazing course because it has you put there where you're trying to go and how you're going to do it and what you need to do moment to moment. And we're here in the church to help you through that, because some people have difficulty and they're like, oh, well, I start and then I don't finish. But this particular course gives you all the tools you need and explains very easily how you can achieve what you're trying to achieve, even from statistics, when you're trying to achieve a goal, so that one is fundamental.
Absolutely. Y'all like my book fair. Well, I do an admin scale for that. Well, that's what setting and achieving your goals teaches you, an administrative scale. And so that's how it's so big. It's so organized. It's 8 years old, but I use an admin scale to do that. So knowing and achieving your goals, when you take that course, you actually put your own ideas in it so that by the time you come away, you've applied the tools to your own ideas. And so that's what I love. I do want to show this about Scientology because we didn't really fully go into its explanation. We did, you read it, but let me just show this real quick video on Scientology so you all get an idea of how it's applied and what it is.
What if there was a place that was different, where unsolvable problems could be solved, where science and religion combined? A new kind of place with the technology to unleash your full potential and unlock the secrets of life itself. It sounds impossible, but you don't have to believe it. You can experience it. And discover the true power of you.
Hercules.
That says it.
It just says it, so yeah, it's like they said, questions you have that haven't been able to be solved. I know people have experiences in religion, particularly, where they have questions and they're shut down and people don't want to explain them or can't explain them. And so they don't get them answered. And so people end up leaving those religions. But one thing I love about being here in Scientology is that you get your questions answered. Go ahead. There's a course for it. And I love how you all see how instead of Monique just blanketly saying a definition, she reads it. That's how we're trained. Like you read it from a text that you can get this information from. And what I love about that, come on, y'all. First of all, don't get it twisted. If you didn't know, just look at the quantity. When I show, these are 18 basic books that we learned from, right? Dianetics is in there, New Slant on Life is in there. You could just go into the church and say, I want to get the basics, right? But reading this body of knowledge by L. Ron Hubbard is outstanding, and it'll help you understand life, body, and spirit to the core, right? What would you say about the basics, Monique, and why they're so important to have and to understand?
Well, that's a loaded question, but
loaded, baby.
I have a story about every single one of those that I studied. But fundamentally, everything that we experience on a daily basis in life, whether it's spiritually or mentally, the answers are there. From knowing, I mentioned earlier, knowing who you can trust. And, understanding where someone is at. You have a person who's extremely angry every single day and you try to work with them and you don't know how. The basic books gives you solutions. You have someone who's constantly nervous or anxious. The materials in the basic books help you understand what that person's going through and what you do about working with that person. Yes, Knowing and Trust, an amazing course. So the basics, to answer that question, Asada, it gives you a solution to every moment in your life with any person that you're encountering, not just yourself, but with them. There's one, I do want to say, there's the book on the far end. It's called The Way to Happiness. And you brought up religion. And in that particular book, there's chapter 18. There you go. And we'll also have that at the book fair. It says respect the religious beliefs of others. And that is one thing we do in our church. We respect the beliefs of others. And each one of those books has some fundamental. But that one particular, we'll be giving that one away free at the book fair, because we want everyone to have some basic tools to help them. And we do pass that out in the community a lot.
No doubt about it. We have been many a day on 87th and the Dan Ryan, baby, and passing out those Way to Happiness books. We literally have had churches people stop their cars and be like, can I take this box of books? And they take the box of books so they can give them out at their churches. And, that's what I love about, there's so many things I love about being a Scientologist. But one is that we have something to give people, right? Not just jargon, not just, commands, but actually you can discover this for yourself. One of my favorite quotes of L. Ron Hubbard is, whatever's true for you is true for you.
That's
right? And so it's like, if you get into Scientology and Dianetics and read it and it's not true for you, all right, bye, that's fine. But when you get here, you experience so much that is true for you, but you just didn't think about it in that way. And that's one thing that is very important to me. And so love that we have those resources to share. Now, I want to show just a couple of others. This here, not just this, hold on, let me bring this up. Getting into the family, baby. Maintaining a happy marriage. Boy, parents, teens and tweens. You can relate to both of these because everybody in your family is Scientologist. Talk a little bit about the importance of these.
So, marriage is the creation. And this course talks to you, gives you information that you can then see in your life on how you are able to continue to create with your spouse and any difficulty that you may be encountering. That course, I have done it, and I have been happily married for 25 years. So it's, yes, so it's a great course, simple. And that's the key thing. Every single thing that we have is simple. And if it's not simple, something is not right. Now, as far as successfully parenting tweens and teens, there's a line of courses for parents to help you, because the children have their own ideas. They're just like us. They can get sick like us. They can have cancer. They could die. And they should be treated with respect. They should be given a path so that they could survive the best that they can. And I have used these tools with both my children. I have a 24-year-old and I have a 22-year-old, and both of them are successful. They lead very, very productive lives. And it all has been because we've used this technology. So my husband also works with me, and we both work at the church in the evenings and weekends. But I can honestly tell you, these materials have saved many painful things, because when I grew up, I didn't have these solutions. I didn't have this technology. And I swore as a parent that I would do everything possible to help them succeed. And I didn't have any answers until I found this particular technology, which is why I have devoted my time to make sure that everyone has these answers, because everyone deserves to have a happy and fulfilled life.
No doubt about it. And I put the address here in Chicago. If you're in a different city, cool. Just go and Google the location. Go to Scientology.org and you can put in locations. They have a page where you can go and put in your zip code and find where a church is close to you. But the address here in Chicago is 650 South Clark. And Monique, you're there in the evenings and on the weekends, correct?
That's right.
Right. So that's when I recommend going to McGarrett, because you'll have an opportunity to connect to her there. And it's open all day. Our hours are actually Monday through Sunday. We don't never close.
No.
We open on Christmas.
Yes.
Church open all the time. It ain't never closed.
No.
So, I mean, it ends at night, but it goes from 9:30 in the morning to like 10 at night.
That's right.
And, but it's open every day, though, and that's important. So just wanted to show maybe a couple others how to improve relationships with others. Helped me so much. And then salvaging a marriage. Y'all see it has maintaining a marriage, but there's also a course called salvaging a marriage. I will say this how to improve relationships with others helped me because, I don't know, maybe I was bossy. Maybe I didn't care about people too much. And people find that hard to believe. But when you're a leader, sometimes you lose your relationships with other people and I needed to strengthen that. And so we only have like a few minutes left. But if you want to say anything briefly about these, please do.
Definitely. Salvaging a Marriage course is very successful. When you don't know what to do in a marriage and you're unsure on how to be able to create it, you start to do things that aren't necessarily the best decisions. So this course helps both husband and wife see what they may have done or not done within the marriage, and it gives you each tool on how you can fix it if the husband and wife want to do so, obviously. But it's very good. And the relationship course, I can tell you right now, as Asada said, being a leader and working with others, this is so fundamental, because it's not just with your family, it's not just your coworkers, but you meet people, if you're in sales or you go to the grocery store, you're around people all the time. This particular course helps you to be able to recognize who the person is in front of you and how to act with that particular person to get what you're trying to do across with them or amongst them. So yeah, that one is very, very, very good course. I mean, they're all good courses, but it depends on what you're trying to accomplish.
They're all so good. It's like you almost want to say the same thing about every course because they're all so powerful. And I just wanted to show those 18 basic books are one thing, but like we have a whole host of what we call congresses, which are all recordings of L. Ron Hubbard speaking to audiences about those different topics. We also have what's called the advanced clinical courses. Like this, I call Scientology, I call it Church of Scientology, I call it spiritual college. That's just a reality. I'll be like, this is like you studying yourself, studying the spirit, and it's spreading, people. That's just a reality. Look at this picture. This is one of the events we had. Brothers and sisters there, ready to roll. Oh, you see my man Jim Brewer in the back. Hey, Jim Brewer. Yep.
He's so tall.
Old and new are there. People that's been in for 30 years or more. And then we have the Nation of Islam, like I said before, heavy in it. I just want to say to you today, Monique, thank you so much for being here. If you want to close with a closing remark, please do. And then we're going to be out of here.
Great. So it was a pleasure being here today. And I just want to read you something on the back of the book Asada said she loves the most, New Slant on Life. And it says, what are your goals? Where are you going? Why are you here? What are you? Scientology has answers to these questions, good answers that are true, answers that work for you. But the subject matter of Scientology is you. So I'd love to see you. You can come down to the church, 650 South Clark. If you're unable, I will be at the Soulful Book Fair and so excited to be there. We'll have, many people there to help service you. We'll be giving away free to Way to Happiness books, as well as other tools for sale for a small donation. And I'm so glad you had me here today. I'm excited.
Hey, we're doing our doggone thing. Love you guys. See you next Tuesday, 7 a.m. right here on Facebook or YouTube. Peace and have a wonderful day.
We've come to the end of our show today. If you missed any broadcasts, go to our website for the audio and video archives at www.thefemalesolution.com. On behalf of our team of radio hosts, I'd like to thank all of you who participated in today's discussions. And to our global family joining us from all around the world, we say thank you. To our family in China, xie xie. India, dhanyavad. Japan, arigato. Korea, kamsamnida. Russia, spasiba. Germany, danke. Poland, dziękuję. France, merci. Spain, gracias. Italy, grazie. Egypt, shukran. Ghana, madasi. Nigeria, eshe. South Africa, Ngiyabonga. Senegal, Jareh. Kenya, Asante. Israel, Toda. Pakistan, Shukriya. Afghanistan, Tashakur. Saudi Arabia and Palestine, Shukran. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Thank you, and may peace be upon you and the mercy of God and God's blessing.